Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. This is Drew. I'm going to hang out here for a couple minutes and let the rest of the people get logged on here, and then we're just going to jump right over to a screen share and get started with today's presentation. So in the meantime, if you're already on with us, go ahead and let me know if you can both see me and hear the screen. Okay, guys, we're just going to hang out here another probably 60 seconds, 90 seconds max, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. And that'll hopefully give a couple more people time to get on here. But if not, we want to respect your time for showing up on time. So you should see a chat feature to the right of the webinar, the right of your computer screen as you're looking at the screen. And go ahead and let me know if you can both hear me, see the screen. Just yes would be great. No if you can't. Okay, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a minute. Let me get a quick drink and all right, so I know it's Monday morning and you guys are super busy, I'm sure. I know that I am. But I want to share a quick system with you, and it's something that you can use to turn your ideas into profits. And it's really just a step-by-step system that you can implement today if you choose to. And I hope that you will. So some basic housekeeping we already went through. If you can see the screen and hear me, great. If you can't, then for those of you who know me, send me a text, let me know that you can't hear me, and or post on my Facebook page. I'll be monitoring that also here if you can't see or hear me. What I want you to do is I want you to eliminate your distractions right now. I want you to turn off your phone, turn off your email, turn off your Skype, etc. And I want you to get something to take notes with, because what I'm going to share with you today is real actionable steps that you can go do today. There are actionable steps you can take today that will help you generate more money. And they're going to help you generate more money without the necessity for your time. So a lot of people call that passive income, and it is passive, but it's going to take some time at the beginning, but it's something you can get paid tomorrow for work done today. And I want you to prepare yourself. Just take a moment, mentally prepare yourself to take action today. Because at the end of the day, if you take 30 to 45, 60 minutes with me today, and you learn some great information, but you don't take action, then really it's just a waste of your time, right? Everyone has ideas, and ideas are great if they have execution behind them. Without execution, they're just ideas, right? Ideas don't make you money, execution does. So I'm going to keep this presentation super simple, very basic, actionable, no fluff. And on this webinar, I'm going to walk you through, like I said, a step-by-step system, the exact system you can use today to set up your very own online profit funnel in 30 minutes or less. And I'm actually going to do a live demonstration of it today. So once you see how simple this is, you will be ready to start turning your ideas into profits today if you want to, tomorrow, this week, very quickly. Let's go through what this webinar is not going to be today. It's not going to be information overwhelm. You see, most marketing gurus are selling us so much shit that we just don't have time to take action. And when we don't take action, we're not very likely to ask for our money back. And I've recently read a study about that where they said one of the reasons why when you buy things, especially online nowadays, where they give you, all of these bonuses. I mean, some of them will have 6, 7, 10, 12 bonuses. And the core products themselves are so massive that they do that because the study showed that the people who don't take action are less likely to ask for their money back because psychologically they feel guilty about doing that when they know that their lack of results was really their own doing. So why don't we take action? Well, besides all the psychology, there's just this, we're in an information age where we don't know who to listen to. We don't know where to start, and we don't know which strategy we should focus on and implement. For instance, currently I get between 5,000 and 6,000 emails a month from about the top dozen online marketing gurus. And this does not even include the thousands and thousands that I have. There's an email program that someone told me about years ago called Roll Up, and basically it just takes all of your emails that you select. You can say every email from this person, this person, this person. It rolls them up, and basically it hides them from you. You can go back later and look at them if you choose. But I just noticed the other day, I literally have tens of thousands in there that I haven't even looked at. And once you decide you're going to listen to this person or that person and you buy something, oftentimes what I hear from people, and certainly has been my experience, is you get lost in details of building it. You get stuck with some detail that you don't know how to do or how to resolve it or how to even go about finding someone to do it for you, right? Whether it's as simple as getting an image redesigned or image resized or a new image designed or coming up with copy, etc. And at the end of the day, information overwhelm really leads to distractions, right? Shiny bells, new tools, new solutions, etc. For instance, in the last 60 days, I've spent about $4,600 on new tools. Now, I've just put the abbreviations for the products down here at the bottom right here, and that's because I don't really want to put anyone on blast street there. I just want to be a little discreet. And primarily because the products really haven't been that great, to be honest with you. I certainly haven't gotten $4,600 worth of value, let alone been able to take that value and turn it into an investment so there's an ROI on it. And so you're left with, which one do I purchase? Or worse, buyer's remorse. You buy one, and when it costs a lot of money, you're like, shit, I just bought this, and now there's this new amazing tool that looks even better. I wish I could return this one and buy that one. Right? I'm not sure if any of you ever feel that way, but I know I've felt that way. So what this webinar is today, it's a step-by-step system you can set up today. There's no fluff, it's just the basics, and you can implement them today. So on the left over here, I want to just tell you what it is. I'm going to walk you through the first step, which is brainstorming your ideas. Now, your idea should solve some problem or provide a need. Right? That should be obvious, it should be a given, but most people overlook that. Your idea really should solve a problem or provide a need to someone. Now, I'm going to show you some free tools that you can use if you're quote-unquote techie or you like to use the computer, but at the end of the day, all you really need is pen and paper. Right? For this step, I use pen and paper, I use my notepad on my iPhone, I use whiteboards, and I use online mapping tools. So there's really no right solution for you. It's just a matter of what's going to work best for you and what you have access to when you have the idea. But it's really a process of how you do that I'm going to share with you. And then the next step is you really just need to understand the IM business model, internet marketing business model, the landscape of it, right? The internet is huge and it's changing daily. And what I have found since being an online marketer, an internet marketer, strategist for the last 5 years is it has already changed more times than I can keep up with, to be honest with you. But I'm going to share with you a very basic understanding today that's been working for the past year or so and is still working really well right now. And from where I sit and most of the marketers online, basically this looks like the model that's going to work for quite a while now. The third step is you got to create your product, right? It doesn't matter if you have all the ideas. We already talked about ideas are worthless without execution. If you don't understand how to take those ideas and turn them into profits, then it's useless. But you have to create that product to do that. So I'm going to walk you through a very basic format using an outline format, right? Every one of us, I'm assuming, any one of us on this call right now, you've had some schooling, you understand what an outline is. And I'm going to show it to you in this format because I want it to be so simple that it will be impossible for you to walk away from today and go, I don't know how to do that, right? So you know how to use pen and paper, and you know how to create an outline. But I'm going to show you an example of just in case. And then the fourth step is to build your product funnel, right? This is just a series of web pages, a payment processor, and email, and some free tools. And then the fifth step and the final step is getting traffic to your offer, right? You could have the greatest product in the world, you could have the greatest price in the world, you could have the best value in the world, but if no one knows about it, you're not going to make any money. So the fifth step is getting traffic to your offer. So some of the ways that you're going to do that would be, phone. Tell people about when you're talking to them. Sending private emails, sending Facebook messages, getting paid traffic, social. So I'm going to go through the primary types to get traffic for you. But over here on the right, this is really what we're going to go through today. I'm going to give you a demonstration of mind mapping. And I'm going to do it by going online and finding a free tool and show you how to do it. And again, I'm going to show you an example of a tool that I use, but I'm just going to do a live demo so you can see. And then I'm going to give you some screenshots. I think I have 3 screenshots of funnels. And I'm going to give you the steps to creating your product. I'm going to give you a live demonstration of the tool I use called Lead Pages. And I'm going to, again, show you the primary traffic types. So here is an example of a mind map. Now this is a mind map that I created. I'm just going to actually see if I can make this a little smaller. So this is a mind map that I created back in November of 2013. And I used this to really get clear on a consulting model. Now I will tell you that I used this exact, this was the start, what you're looking at on my screen right here. This was the start of a 6-step or 6-module consulting, 6-phase consulting process. And I used this to make almost $100,000 in consulting income. And it all stemmed from this. So this was a matter of mind mapping is about being in a creative flow, just doing a brain dump, getting every idea out without judgment, and then later packaging. So that comes into where we create the product. We're going to go through that. But the mind map, I want you just to be in a general state of mind of being creative and free-flowing and just getting your ideas out. So let me do something here really quickly. And hopefully you can still see my screen. I'm just going to go to Google, and I'm going to say free online mind mapping. And I'm going to come down here, and you see there's a ton of them. I'm just going to click on this bubble.us for only one reason. I've used it before. And we'll just wait for it to open up here. And so look, I was able to go ahead and start. I didn't even have to create an account, right? So, right, this is main idea, etc. And it works. So I'm just hitting enter, right? So I can make this as big as I want. Okay, so that looks like so I don't need this one, so I'm just going to go here. What I want to do is I wanted to create a branch off of it, right? So here I might say problems that my target audience currently deal with. And I'm just going to see if I can figure out how to move this. Okay, like that. And now let's say I want to create another one and say solutions for my target audience problem. Right, and here, oops. Here I want to list my, problem number 1. Problem number 2, etc. And so, and then I think you can even move these around here. All right, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this, but you should be able to like drag and drop these around. But it's pretty easy. I have used this before. It's just been a long time. Here, if you're a new user, create a new account, let's sign in. All right, so it's just basically telling me like if I want to save this, if they're going to make me create an account, that's fine. But you get the point here that you can use these. You should be able to drag and drop these all around, and it's just a basic tool. But you can do this on pen and paper also. So I just wanted to show you that you can do that. You can also go, just in case you don't like that, and leave this page. You don't need to save that. Free online mind. Or you can do a search like this, and here, Mashable.com, great website. You can go ahead here, and this is a great article. It's been shared 7.7 thousand times, and you can come down here, and it's going to tell you all the different tools. So the screen's working a little slow here today, but anyway, you get the drift that you can go here and find plenty of tools that are free that you can use. So jump back to the presentation. So mind mapping. First thing, what I want to stress you here is it's about just letting your ideas go. Do not judge your ideas, just put them out there. Some of them are going to be great, some you're going to use, some you're not going to use. So just be in the habit of being free flow with your ideas. Now the next thing is you have to understand the landscape of internet marketing, and this is really a basic 5-step process that is currently working right now. It's working really well. People are making millions and millions of dollars with this, and you should be able to easily, from brand new, starting out, easily make 6 figures. Now, you may or may not, you may make more, you may make less, but I can tell you from experience of consulting and sharing this with clients for the last couple of years, as well as using this myself, you should be able to very, very easily generate 6 figures in your first year. Now, that shouldn't be a benchmark for you. You may desire 7 figures, you may desire 50,000, right? You may just want to make $1,000. The point is this system works really well, and I'm going to walk you through this system. What I want you to just focus on right now is the 5 basic steps of any optimized profit funnel. Step 1 is freebies, lead magnets, right? These are all the things that when you and I go to websites and they say enter your name and email here, you're going to get X. So freebies or lead magnets could be anything. They could be a PDF, like an ebook. They could be a free video. They could be a free consulting session. They could be a free, strategy session. They could be a free webinar, just like this one, right? Then the next thing is you want to have a tripwire or inexpensive product. So I want you to think in terms of this, and each market's going to be different, but in general, what's working really well online are $7, $10, $27, $37 products. Inexpensive. So inexpensive that it trips you up, right? You're there, you're looking at, just making an example here. You're looking at a $500 product, and you're like, I don't know if I have $500, but then before you leave, they're like, hey, get this $10 report. It trips you up, and those convert really, really well. So I'm not going to go into why those convert that well right now because I want to eliminate any overwhelm for you. I just want you to get, this is kind of as you start to think about your products and your paths to profit, these are things that you should be thinking about. So inexpensive products. Now, the third step is your core product offer, right? This is what your main product is. And this product shouldn't be the least expensive, and it shouldn't be the most expensive. It should be your main product, what you want to sell. Now, the fourth step is your profit maximizers, or your high ticket items. So these could be anything from live event tickets to one-to-one coaching or consulting, right? Private consulting. This could be like boot camps, 1-2 day intensive sessions. This could be, custom websites. This could be, whatever your niche is. It's just a high ticket item. It's not something that most people aren't going to buy it, but if you make those 1 or 2 sales, it can really drastically, increase your income by 2 or 3%, 10%, 20%. And then the fifth step, really important part, this is something no one ever told me about. In my first 4 years of being online marketing in this world, no one ever told me about this, and it's cost me a lot of money. It's the return path. Why does someone pay you next month and the month after and the month after? So I'm going to give you some examples. For a return path to be good, to be a quality return path, you have to have what's called a pain to disconnect. So I'll give you some examples, real life. I bet every one of you on that webinar with me right now, you probably have a cell phone, and even though I asked you to turn it off, you probably have it close to, you probably looked at it once or twice, right? There's a pain to disconnect. You're not going to turn your cell phone off. You might switch carriers, but you're not going to turn it off. Why? Because there's a pain to disconnect. If you turn that phone off, you can't make calls. You can't play your, Candy Crush on there. Some more pain to disconnect, so your water bill. You don't turn your water bill off at home because you won't have any hot and cold water, right? There's a pain to disconnect. So you need to have a pain to disconnect for your return path. You need to make it painful for someone to stop paying you. So again, today's webinar is not to go in depth on that because that can be overwhelming, but I just want you to get these 5 basic things. So what I want you to know, the simplest of this, let's eliminate overwhelm. At the end of the day, not today, but at the end of the day, when you're building out your product, you really want to have at least 5 products. A free one, an inexpensive one, your main one, the one that you want everyone to buy, a really expensive one that most people won't, but if they do, you're going to be happy as hell, and the return path. A strategy for them to keep paying you every month. So, a membership, an online training, something that continues to add value every month that they're going to want that. Okay, moving on. So, creating your products, right? This is the meat and potatoes of this because without this, you don't have anything, right? You could have all the traffic in the world to a site, no sales because you don't have products. You can have a great funnel setup that is killer, no product, no conversions, no money. So again, you want to be specific. What problem will your product solve? What need will it fulfill? Then you got to think about how you're going to deliver this product, right? Is your product going to be a series of videos? Is it going to be a written document like an ebook or an ebook or a real book? Is it going to be a manuscript or a work guide or a checklist? Like, is it going to, something's written, right? Or is it going to be audio like podcasts? Podcasts are really hot right now, and people are doing incredible things with them. So just how are you going to deliver your product? And here's a tip. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It might be a combination of all 3 or a combination of 2. It might be 1 today and 2 tomorrow and 3 next week. But these are the formats to deliver your product: video, written, or audio. And then next is, are you going to provide any handouts or worksheets or work guides to your customers? So this is something that I learned to do very early on and have done it, but not as well as I should, to be honest with you. Now, over the years, I realized that worked really well and that didn't work. And so now I kind of have a little system down that I do for different types of products. But I'll give you an example. So if you're going to do a webinar, and in fact, I'm going to go on a quick tangent here in a second. Before I do that, if you have a webinar or video and you teach something, it would be a good idea for you to create a worksheet to give it to the people who attended so they can follow along with you or they can take notes. Now, quick tangent for you. So for those of you who know me, you may know that I just recently had a newborn baby. It's my second child, and I've decided to, at my 4-year-old actually asked me in April if I would stop consulting and going into offices because he likes it when I work from home better. So long story short, fast version of this is I've decided to do that, relaunch Escape the Job Life, which that's what this webinar is a part of that. And I'm doing this because not only my child asked me, and I could have started, 5 steps down the road, if you will, but I chose to kind of rebuild everything from scratch, including my website, including my Facebook page, including presentations, because I wanted to show people who had an interest in doing this that they can do it with me, that we can do this together, right? Because oftentimes we look at someone when they're successful or they've achieved a certain milestone and we say, oh, they had success overnight, or what would they do? We ask them, what would you do if you had to start all over? So I really just chose to kind of start all over with everything new to show people how things look in the raw, right? How having something done is better than not having it done. How good enough is better than not done. And I'm going to talk about why that is later, but it's basically a lot of people don't get things done because they have what I call perfectionist disease. They don't want to do something because it's not perfect. And so that's why you're seeing my presentations right now. If you're on the one last week, if you're on this one, if you're on the next few, you're going to see a steady progression of how they get better. But the first few, you're going to look at it and go, wow, they look really rough. And I'm doing that because I want you to see that it's okay to have a starting point. As long as you progress, as long as you get better, as long as you provide value, it's okay. Right, so that's a quick tangent. So with that said, what I will do after this webinar is I will make sure that anyone who's on the webinar and wants one, I will send you a well put together document just kind of outlining what we've done, not the slides, but something's more of a worksheet for you to go implement, a checklist, if you will. And if you want that, just so I know who to send it to, because I'm don't want to give you something or more information if you don't desire. So if you would like a copy of the worksheet and kind of the checklist that I'll put together for you from this, then do me a favor, either in the chat or most preferable, go to facebook.com/escapethejoblife and just leave a comment on my page like, yes, Drew, send me the checklist, right? That would be awesome. If you do that, I'll not only give you the checklist, I'll make sure to give you something extra special if you leave that on my Facebook page. So will you provide handouts, worksheets, work guides, etc.? And how will you hold your customer accountable for getting the results they want? This is a big one. Back in the early days, I created a product, I sold a product, and I wasn't vested in the results that my clients were getting. And what happened is it backfired on me. Because although those customers would still, at that point, and still today, tell you that they loved working with me and it was great, at the end of the day, I didn't want to share them with you because their results were less than stellar. And it'd be easy for me to blame them, but when I take the real responsibility is that I didn't hold them accountable. I didn't help ensure that they took action to get the results. And I will tell you, remember, I just spent over $4,000, almost $5,000 for 4 different courses. And I got to tell you, not one of those course owners have done anything to follow up with me to see that I was getting results, right? So that's what I want to I want to share with you, that you have to be accountable for your clients' results. So I told you creating your products, a main idea or a outline format. This is the basic right here on the right, right? I told you this is simple, you guys. You can do this. Come up with your main idea. Hopefully that main idea comes from the mind map session that you did earlier. Type out a brief description. This brief description might be 1 sentence, it might be 2 or 3 sentences, it might be 2 or 3 paragraphs. But a brief description of what your idea is, what your product is, what problem it's going to solve, what need it's going to fulfill, and who the target audience is going to be, right? Quickly, you can do that quickly. Then I want you to come up with 3 to 5, no more than 7 or 8, okay? Let's keep this first process simple. So 3 to 5, ideally, no more than 7 or 8 bullets, right? So right here, like bullet. Think of this as like a chapter topic, right? If you go buy a book, go to Amazon, look at a book, look at the table of contents, they all have it. It's the same format. So come up with your main 3 to 5, no more than 7 or 8 major topics. Okay, within each topic, I want you to come up with 3 to 5 bullet points. And these bullet points are the talking points. So, right, you have chapter 1 might be getting started online. And I'm kind of making this up, that it would be for if I were going to create a product for you, it would be, you know, getting started online. Talking point 1 might be understanding search engines. Number 2 might be understanding push versus pull marketing or content marketing. Number 3 might be understanding or creating a website. Chapter 2 might be, you know, content marketing, and talking point 1 might be understanding the types of content. Number 2 might be, you know, creating your content. So there's no right or wrong answer. This is basically just creating an outline for you to expand from. So this is the basic format to create your product. And I will tell you, this could be done in an afternoon. I just recently did this with a business partner / coaching client. We're still defining the relationship, but we actually sat down in my office. We took a 4-hour session, and we were able to create his lead magnet, his free product. We were able to outline a inexpensive tripwire product, and we were able to outline a core product. We were able to outline 3 different products and create actionable items for him to go create those products. And 2 of the 3 are done within a week. So it's a very quick process. Now that you understand the mind mapping, you understand how to create the outline for your product, we're going to talk about building your funnel. And let me just grab a quick drink here. So now that you have your product outline, right, it's time to build what I call your profits funnel. And although funnels can easily be very, very complex, there's really only 3 to 4 basic pages or elements that you need to focus on when getting started. The first thing is your landing page. Now, landing page can be called an opt-in page, a squeeze page, landing page. Right, it's just a fancy way for saying I'm going to give you something if you give me your name and email. That's it. And then a thank you page, right? When someone opts into something, you want to send them to a thank you page to confirm that that you got the request, and you're going to send them whatever it is they requested. And then a sales page. And then you need to have email marketing. Like, this is where the automation happens. This is how you follow up with people. This is how you nurture them. This is how you build trust. This is oftentimes how you deliver the product they just either requested for free and or purchase. Now I'm going to give you some examples of this. But before I do that, I just want to show you there's a very big lie out there that these marketing gurus are going to tell you, and I'm not going to perpetuate the lie. They're going to tell you that you don't need to be a techie or a designer, etc. Now, while that is true, it's not entirely true if you're going to do it yourself. And I think this is really kind of a talking point for me, because I'm not techie and I'm not really a graphic designer. So if you have those skills, you can absolutely do this by yourself. But let me give you an example. So you've outlined you've mapped out your product, you've created your product outline, you understand the basic funnel. Now it's time to create these pages. Well, there's a really great tool, and let me just go over here. It's called Lead Pages. So I'm already logged into my account, and you can see this is a great tool. So I want to create an opt-in page, right? Right here it says opt-in pages. So I'm going to go ahead and create this. And it's going to give me all these templates right here that I want to use. So I'm just going to give you some quick education here. And if you get this quicker than I did, kudos to you. I think I'm the average person. I purchased the software. I pay $67 a month for it. It's great. I love it. I endorse it. I'm an affiliate for it. In fact, if you sign up for this, it would be amazing if you use my affiliate link. They'll pay me a few nickels. But let me tell you what I wasn't smart enough to grasp. I looked at this and I thought, this is awesome. So first thing about this I do is I want to search by the ones that have the highest conversion rate. Obviously, we're doing this to build an opt-in list. So I said, okay, this is great. Here's one that is, these are all the highest converting. So first thing I notice is you can see how long these are. So that means you got to have that much copy if you really want to use that. So let's just say that I have a free report. And I'm going to use this one because it's just quick and simple. I'm going to say use this template. No thanks, I don't need to give any insight. And the first thing that you got to understand is if you want to use this page, you have to have an image created like this. And you can come over here and it tells you right here what the recommended height is. So if you can create images, you're off to the races. If you're like me and you can't, then you're SOL. But don't fret, there's ways around it. But anyway, and you can see here that I actually had to have one created. And you can see if you click on it, it's fine, it sticks it in there. But there's little nuances that just drive me nuts. You can see this book is actually created at a much different angle, so it creates this gap here. When I had this one created, it wasn't, so it looks a little weird in my opinion. Right, when I did this, this was a book that I purchased. If you haven't read this book, go read this book, just a quick side note. But anyway, so a little delay, you have to know how to create images, right? The rest of this is really simple. You click here, you can type your headline or call to action here. Super simple, right? Click here. This is where it integrates. Now I have mine integrated with Infusionsoft or MailChimp. This is the email marketing part that we talked about. I'm going to show you this in just a moment, but this is how you create follow-up system. So you have to integrate there, fine. But again, you can create here and type what you want here, no problem. And then you can change your text and all of that, right? So it's pretty cool, great tool, right? You can change your button text. So everything about it is very customized. Now, I don't really want to save this right now. Leave this page. So in this, you could go ahead and create, excuse me, you could create your opt-in page. So remember, that's the #1 page you need. You could create your thank you page. That's the very next page you need. Right, so here you go. Simple pages. I'm going to give you another example of somewhere where you need to have some tech skill when all these people don't. So you could use this model here. It's very basic. You don't need anything. Use this one. You need your picture or something. But lots of these templates, is whether it's a landing pages, webinars pages, thank you pages, they use video. So you got to have video. And videos are not always easy for a lot of people to create. So anyway, but if you did have video, you just basically embed your YouTube video code right here. So very simple. Tells you right here the recommended height. So again, overall, great system. I just wanted to point out there are some little struggles there that if you're not a designer, it creates a delay at best and a headache. So again, you could create opt-in pages, thank you pages, and you can create your sales pages. So great system, easy. You could get started today. You could sign up today. I think they have a plan that's $37 a month and one that's $67 a month, and you can get started today. Again, sales letters here. I just want to point out, again, just one last point. Anywhere where you see images here, you can hide those images, but if you hide them, then obviously the page layout and design is off balance because they've had designers design these to convert. So if you just take away this book right here, the page is going to look weird. So you don't want to do that. So you either have to have an image made, know how to make it, or you have to hire someone to make that image for you. So just want to point that out because no one else is really telling people in the marketplace this. And go back over here. So that's the big lie people are going to tell you. Now, here's two examples of funnels. Now, I had to shrink these down to fit them on the page, but I'll walk you through them. So a very basic one is over here's traffic, right? Facebook, organic, social traffic, retargeting, email marketing, etc., word of mouth, affiliates. Basically, these are people looking at your page. This is the opt-in page, right? Just says Facebook, so you can put this page on Facebook or your WordPress site or lead pages, which is what I showed you. And then you will send them to a thank you page. And then from a thank you page, you might want to send them over here to a sales page. And if they purchase, of course, then they got to see the checkout page, the order form, billing information, etc. And then where it gets a little more complex, but really becomes in how you optimize a value, how you can go from a little money to a lot of money is by offering an upsell. So, right, you see it at Amazon. I use them because they're the biggest name that most of us know, right? You bought this book, hey, everyone else that bought this book loved these 4 things. So you want to have an upsell. McDonald's says you buy a cheeseburger, they ask if you want fries and a Coke with that. So it's upsell. So this product, I'm just going to make up some numbers here. This product might have been a $197 product. And you said, yes, I want to buy it. And before I process your card, I go, hey, if you like that, you may also like this. It's only an additional $497. And if you say no, then I can downsell you. Like, I understand you don't want that, but how about this, right? And then whatever you purchase, then it takes you to, let's call it the members area. It's where the product gets delivered to you. And then, of course, based on what product you buy, we then are going to email you more information. And you want to really get in the habit of emailing people, but training them to look for your email, because and the email list is where all of your money hides. It's what I call, that's where you can discover your hidden profits. This is not a course on that, but I can tell you that there's a rule of thumb I was told back in '08, and I've never seen this fail for anyone who implements it, that for every email on your list, you should be able to easily generate $1 per month per email. So if you have 1,000 people on your email, you should generate $1,000 a month. Right? That's if you're completely brand new, you do some very basic things, you should be able to achieve that very easily. So basic funnel. I'm going to give you a little more complex. Everything here is the same: traffic, opt-in page, thank you page, sales page, checkout page. Here, upsell 1, upsell 2, upsell 3. So here you could actually string 3, 4, 5, 10 upsells. Right? It gets a little annoying after a while, but 2 or 3 work really well. Everything else really the same. And here I just added here, you could actually send people to a webinar, and then you could offer a high ticket item, and then upsell 2. So very complex, but you can automate all of this. What I want you to focus on today is, this is the basic one I use today. And I did this on late Friday night, over the weekend, for Monday morning. So I didn't expect to reach a lot of people, but I did it because I wanted to kind of prove the point again, that starting out, you can take baby steps, take affordable next steps, and you get results, and each time you grow upon. So what I did is I created a Facebook post. I sent an email to a small group of people, and I sent people to a webinar opt-in page, and then invite you to a live webinar. Pretty simple. Now, the 5th step and the final step to your funnels, you have to get traffic to your offer. So we talked about, if you don't have people to your offer, doesn't matter how great your product is, doesn't matter how much value it provides, doesn't matter how many problems it solves, you're going to generate $0. So the primary types are organic. Organic just means free. So organic can be word of mouth. Organic can be blog posts that you've written on your blog or other people's blog. It can be social traffic. It's just organic really is an umbrella for free traffic. And then there's paid traffic. Now, paid traffic, honestly, this is where you're going to make money. This is where you have to get in the habit of. And I want to just tell you something here. So I've been doing this since '08. I've avoided paid traffic like the plague. And then 3rd quarter last year, I had the opportunity to work on a consulting project with a friend of mine who all he does is traffic. And I was able to get involved in that project, and when I saw what traffic did for this specific project, it really opened my eyes up to why I need to start paying for traffic. So this client was generating about $35,000 to $40,000 a month consistently from her information products. So information products is a website, no time involved, no time trade for dollars, just information, passive income. And when he took over her paid traffic campaigns and optimized some things, and we changed the funnel up, she went from $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 a month to over $100,000 a month in income, and has been able to sustain that now for the last 5-6 months. So paid traffic is significant. And oftentimes when I talk to people or I'm in a conversation, people are talking about traffic, they feel like, oh, if I don't get a 10-to-1 return on my money, I'm getting screwed. But here's the thing. I'm willing to bet anyone on the phone right now or on the webinar right now, if I said to you, give me $1 and I'll give you 2 back, you would do that. And for the record, I will do that, right? So if you won't do it, I'll give you $1 if you give me 2 back. It's a 2-for-1, it's 100% return on your money. So as long as you kind of have that in your mind, like if you're willing to spend $1 and make 2, or spend 10 and make 20, or spend 100 and make 200, you need to investigate paid traffic. And then there's social. Right, so social traffic. You have to be active on Facebook and Twitter and Google Hangouts and YouTube, and you just have to be active there. At the end of the day, that's where people are at. Now, I will also tell you direct mail works brilliantly when you target it and use direct response marketing. But the days of networking and going out and doing all this stuff, you should absolutely maintain that, but that can't be where the majority of your marketing is done. It takes too long. The process is time consuming. You have to wait on certain events. You can be marketing every day. I did a Google Hangout not too long ago with a really good friend of mine. His name's Pete Sanchez III. He's in multi-level marketing, network marketing. That world is not for me, but this kid is crushing it, and he's always marketing. We did a hangout, him and his wife, on a 6-month honeymoon. You could go to 6monthhoneymoon.com and learn about him. He's always marketing. He created a website for his honeymoon. He has a sign that he carries at the airport that basically tells people, you ask him how he makes, 6 figures or whatever a sign is. But it may or may not be things that you or I would do, but he's always marketing. So you have to be marketing, and social is the best place to do that. And then there's retargeting ads. If you've ever went to, I think I just saw an example of this. So here's an example. So I'm on Mashable.com. Here's a website, 6 Division. Now, I know these guys. I paid them $29 a month every month for the last year and a half. And I met them like 4 years ago. I know they are not paying Mashable for this ad. This is called retargeting. This allows you to set up ads to follow your clients. Anyone that's went to your website, these ads will follow them around the internet, giving them the illusion that you are bigger than you really are. And it creates credibility, it creates trust, and ultimately generates revenue for you. So retargeting ad campaigns are something that you have to also consider. Okay, so we're nearing the end of our time here, and I want to just recap. Right? Most people suffer from either information overwhelm. They don't take action because they don't know where to start. There's too much knowledge, there's too many people to listen to, there's too many strategies, or they have a perfectionist disease. This one is my biggest pet peeve. I've sat down with clients who paid me thousands and thousands of dollars that ultimately I've had to give their money back because they couldn't get past the brainstorming session, the basic pen and paper of just letting their ideas flow, right? They get past that, but they can't actually create a product because it's never right. I have a really good friend, business partner / customer client, mentioned him earlier, that we outlined all his products really in a 4-hour process. Within a week, he has 2 done. He's yet to tell anyone about them besides me because he is continually suffering with a perfectionist disease. He's always finding something that's not quite right, not right perfect. At the end of the day, the best example I can give you guys, if you're an iPhone or an Android, most of you have a phone, is the phone you have in your hand right now is a new and improved version from the one that someone had in their hand last month or last year, 2 years ago. Right? I have my iPhone 5C, the $99 iPhone white cover. You know what? Guess what? I turned in my iPhone 4, and I wasn't pissed off at Apple because they came out with a new phone. Right? I wasn't. I have a MacBook Pro that I got 3 years ago. I'm not pissed off at that Apple has a new MacBook. I can't wait to get the new one. Right? So think of version 1.0. When you create products, think of version 1.0, version 1.5, version 2.0. And if you're really overly nervous about it, every time you come up with a free release or update your product, which you should be all the time, give that to the people who've already paid you money for it. Right? No one's going to be mad at you for that. And you must define. You've got to define what you want to achieve. So, and the purpose of what I'm talking to you about is you really want to get clear on what your dream lifestyle looks like, right? Most people, I don't think, have a dream life that includes trading time for money. I just don't think that. So if you have a job and you're in this state of mind where you're like, I love my job, I love my job. Good for you. But when you start getting clear about all the shit that you're giving up to go to that job that you love, like time with your family, time with your friends, traveling the world, reading a book, doing whatever it is, I think you understand that trading time for your money is not a dream life. I just don't think that. And maybe you and I disagree there, but I think most people, if they're really honest, your dream life does not include trading 5 days a week for the weekend, right? So I read a book called The Millionaire Fast Lane, great book. I mentioned it earlier. If you haven't read it, go read it. But that author talks about how the majority of people trade 5 for 2. They trade Monday to Friday to a job for Saturday to Sunday. He went on to say, that's a negative 60% on your return. If you put that in terms of money, you wouldn't invest in something financial if it was going to give you a negative 60% return, yet we do it with our time every day, all day, right? So get clear on what your dream life looks like. For me, my dream life right now at this stage of my life is being able to be home with my wife and my newborn and my 4-year-old. Right, that to me is my dream life. It's not flying in private jets and doing all those things. Although I want those things, and I believe I'll have all those things, but right now at this stage of my life, what's important is that I'm home and can hang out with my family and quality of life right now. That's my dream life. Doesn't mean that's yours, but get clear on what your dream life is, because you can create a product, you can create revenue streams to support that, and that's what I'm passionate about, is helping people figure out how to do that. You must understand what you want to do and what you won't ever complete. This is a big one, what you won't complete. So remember lead pages and creating those images I showed you. I've come to realize those are things I'm never going to do. I have a dozen different products that are half-assed over the years that I've attempted to do because I knew what I wanted to do. I wasn't yet clear on what I wouldn't complete. So recently I just hired people to do all that for me. Recapping the 5 steps to turn your ideas into profits, or you've got to first start with brainstorming, mapping out your ideas. You got to get clear on what you're going to sell. What value are you going to provide? What problems are you going to solve? What needs will you fulfill? Then you got to create the product. You got to do so by creating an outline. It's that simple, creating the outline. Then you got to build your online sales funnel. So I showed you, you can go to lead pages today, sign up for an account today, $37 a month or $67 a month, and in this very day, you could create a funnel. The one delay you might have is if you need to create e-covers or do a video. That might take you a little bit of time to find someone to help you with that, but I'm going to give you a resource to get that done for you. And the tools you need to get started again are pen and paper or a free online mapping tool. Facebook, that's free. Lead pages, that's going to cost you $37 to $67 a month. And an email marketing system, but you can use MailChimp. I'm not a fan of MailChimp. I don't use MailChimp, but you can use MailChimp, and it's free for up to 2,000 emails a month, so it's definitely enough to get you started. So again, you could have a funnel set up today for $37. Now, if you're like me, you can't create images, I want you to write down, there's some sites. One is called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Another one is called Odesk, just like it sounds, Odesk.com. Or Elance, just like it sounds, ELANCE.com. Those are 3 sites that you can go find someone to do anything you want for a minimal amount of money. Fiverr, just like it says, $5, they'll do whatever you want. So you can get logos made, you can get e-covers made. It's like hiring anyone in the real world, though. I just want to set the expectation. You may spend $10 or $20 hiring people and get crappy product, right? You're gonna have to spend some money to find the right people, but when you do that, then you can always go back and hire those people over and over and over. So there's old saying, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way you're right. I want you to walk away from this with the belief that you can do this, right? Can you do this? I think the answer is absolutely yes, you can do this. I believe in you. The better question is, and this was a question that tripped me up, is will you do this, right? You can believe you can. You could even tell yourself you're going to. The better question is, will you do it, right? I could hang a picture on a wall, but I know I'm not going to. I could hang blinds. I know I'm not going to. So my wife is always saying, can you do that? I know I'm not going to. So I tell her she's got to do it or she's got to call someone else to do it, right? Those are things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to learn how to create images on Adobe Photoshop. I'm not going to learn how to use Illustrator. I'm just not going to learn how to do it. And the quicker you realize what you won't do, the faster you can succeed. I also want to submit this to you, is if you treat your business like a hobby, you're going to get hobby income. You have to spend your time doing what matters, creating valuable products, solving problems, providing value, fulfilling needs, not setting up technology systems. This is something that really tripped me up because there's so many new tools. Every day there are new tools out there that promise how easy it is. And Lead Pages is, I think, the best one out there, but there's little things that they don't tell you. And for me, it was the image. For you, it might be something else. There's little things that they just don't tell you that are going to create delays. And I think, not knowing you personally, that if you're on this call right now, I think you have better value to provide to the world than setting up technology systems. If I'm wrong, setting up technology systems is your thing, absolutely get in touch with me. So here's what I want to offer you today. If you're like me and you have ideas and you have value to provide and you want to help people and you want to solve problems and fulfill needs and you don't want to be stuck setting up technology systems on your own, you want, the time machine, if you will, then I'm going to invite you to take part in something that I did this once before in a past life as in real estate, and I did something very similar and it worked well, and I'm going to do this right now starting August, beginning of August, and I'm going to do it twice before the end of the year. This first time, I'm only going to do this with 10 people max, and it's a group coaching program. It's broke up into 6 phases, 6 weeks, 6 modules, whatever you want to look at. Mindset and beliefs. We're going to go through the psychology and mindset and belief systems and belief patterns so you can understand why you're where you're at now and why you haven't gotten through certain breakthroughs that those things that you say you want but you don't have. We're going to look at why that is, because until your mindset and beliefs are right, you're not going to have a breakthrough. You're not going to get from here to there. It's just not going to happen. We're going to have brainstorming sessions, brainstorming ideas, and really outlining the paths to profits. And the reason this is going to be only 10 people is because at this phase, there's going to be a lot of personal attention, and it's just going to take a lot of time. There's just no two ways about it. It's going to take a lot of time because each person is going to have different paths, right? The systems to get those paths might be the same, but the paths themselves are going to be a little different. And then we're going to create your products. We're actually going to create your products together. Now, here's what's going to be so great about this is when you do this in this group environment with me, you're not going to have to spend time to go find the people to do this thing. I already have the resources for you, and I'm going to let you use those resources. Now, you're going to have to spend your money to have it done, but this money is going to be minimal, right? I mean, you can go to Fiverr. So I already work with people on Odesk. If you want things transcribed, I have an awesome girl that transcribes my video. I think it's $20 or something per, $30 per hour of audio transcription. So dirt cheap. I have people that can create my ebooks and e-covers, no problem. And I'll pass all those along to you. You can use them. You can go find your own, but you can also use mine so you can have speed to market. You're going to build your online sales funnel together, right? We're going to build that. So we're going to determine, is your funnel a 3-page funnel or a 10-page funnel? We're going to build that. Then we're going to talk about how do you get traffic. This is a big one for me because out of that $4,600 that I bought in courses, $2,400 of that was in courses that promised to help show me how to use Facebook. And I got to tell you, they were huge, over-promise, under-deliver. Basically, they told me how to go to Facebook, set up an ad, which I already knew how to do. Didn't need to pay $2,400 for that. So what's different in this is we're actually going to set up ad campaigns that are specific to your model. So again, at that arena, getting traffic is going to be a lot of personal attention with you. And we're going to do it as a group, but we're also going to have some personal one-to-one time to set that up for you. And what's great about the group is we're going to be able to share what's working across the board so that while someone may have a product that works really great, or an ad campaign is working really great, we can model that and replicate it for your product. And then the last step is we're going to review what's worked, we're going to optimize what's working, get rid of what's not, and then we're going to scale the revenue. So an example, when we find something that's working where we can get 2 to 1, 2 to 1, or 3 to 1 return on dollars. So right, if we spend $1 and we generate 3, well, we want to scale that. And what that means is we need to put more money in it. We don't need to spend $1. We want to spend $1,000 because we want to make 3,000. Right, and I'm going to talk to you about an interesting concept I've been testing for the last few months about really using kind of crowdsourcing or crowdfunding to stimulate the scalability of that. So I'm going to do this. There's two ways you can join. The first one is it's a $1,491 coaching program. You can make 3 payments of $497, or you can save $494 and make one single payment of $997. But I had 2 bonuses for people to take action. And this isn't going to be for everyone. And if you're not going to take action, I don't want you to join. But if you want to take action, you want to become a case study, you want to become a testimonial, and you want help to get from A to Z as quickly as possible, then the first 5 people sign up today, I'm going to give you a complimentary 60-minute coaching strategy session with me where I'm going to review your product offerings. I'm going to review your mind map with you. And I'm going to walk you through how to set up your funnel for maximum profit. So I'm going to help you determine if you need upsells and downsells and how to create what I believe will be the highest amount of profits for you in your funnel. And then I'm going to also walk you through and give you a copy of what I call the mini product launch system. This is the exact system I used back in 09, I think it was late 09, early 10, that generated more than 6 figures on my first product offering. And I really just stumbled onto it, but I've used it over and over and over. I've shared it with other internet marketing people, and it's worked every time. Sometimes it works better than others, but it always works. And what's so beautiful about it, it's quick, it's inexpensive, if not free sometimes, and it can generate revenue fast. Second fast action bonus I want to give you is a new product that I'm just finishing putting together right now. It's called the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Club. This is one of the things I'm most excited about because this is really for the masses. I price it at $1 a day, so anybody can afford it. Even someone who doesn't have a job can afford this. It's $1 a day. In there, I'm giving you an extensive and growing library of training video modules, all things internet marketing, lifestyle entrepreneur related. So we'll go through the things like mindset and belief. We'll go through the different training programs that are on the market. And that is really good because I buy all these products just because I like to buy them, and I know that there's going to be times where I learn something really great. So all the courses that I'm buying, I'm making those available through this Lifestyle Entrepreneur Club. And let me be clear about what that means is typically once a month, I'm going to find the best of all the products I purchase, and then we're going to do a group like a book club or an online meetup to go through that course together and implement the strategies. So it doesn't mean I'm not going to buy a product and then give you the product. That would be crazy. But you're going to have access to, imagine the cliff notes and the coaching and the support and the systems behind the best of the best. You're going to get real life case studies. What's not worked and what's working for other lifestyle entrepreneurs to make money. You're going to get access to lifestyle entrepreneur interviews and their business blueprints and maps. So it's one thing to hear someone talk about how great they are and how they've overcome this and what they do to make money, but we're going to actually give you their blueprints, like what they did, what they're doing now, how they're doing it, and give you their outline so that you can determine if it's the same niche for you, you can just basically replicate it. Then monthly, we're going to have training webinars, live training, and live Q&A sessions. And you're going to get access to me for support, training, and coaching. So again, right now, you can join one of 2 ways for $1,491 by 3 payments. That's payment today, in 30 days, and 30 days. So you get 3 payments of $497. Or you can save $494 and make one single payment, and you get access to the group coaching program, which is going to start in August. We're going to do it live. It's going to be 5-6 weeks live. I'm going to do it a second time this year. You're going to get access to that. So it's like you're buying one and getting one free. Plus, you're going to get access to, for 12 months, of the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Club. And then you're going to get the bonus where if you're one of the first 5, then you're going to get that extra 60-minute session with me plus a copy of the mini product launch system, which will be critical to the success when you launch your product. So that's it for today. I'm just going to jump over and see if there's any questions. I'm still using a new technology called Webinar Jam. So there's some things I haven't quite figured out how to use on it yet, but this is also part of what you're going to get from being a part of this group coaching and or the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Club, is you're going to get access to figuring out what worked and what didn't work, right? Like I used GoToWebinar for 4 years at $100 a month. Then I switched to just using Google Hangouts by themselves, and I learned a lot. And I'm testing out Webinar Jam, which is a $300 or $400 program. So that in itself, I think, is worth more than the cost of the coaching program. But let me just jump over and see if there's any chat. Okay, so not much chat there. So let me just go back over here and just say thank you for attending. And if you have any questions, you know how to get in touch with me through Facebook, facebook.com/escapethejoblife. And or you can just go to escapethejoblife.com to get in touch with me. That's a brand new site. So check that site out. Follow it for the next couple of days, because you're going to see a lot of changes happening as we'll start releasing the new pages we've been building. Thanks again for your time. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you in the coaching program. All right, bye.